So I guess I'm here for employee training. This is my first time. I'm not exactly sure what that means. I could talk about my product. And then actually I'd like to get some questions that you guys have for me, how to make things better. Or actually what products you guys would like to see that we could produce high CBDs, because that's kind of our business. So we're thinking of some future products, but you guys are the ones who see the patients every day. And you guys probably know more than I do what's out there. So as you guys all know, our biggest pill is the ACDC pill. For those of you who haven't tried it, let me know tonight. Give me your name, your number, or what store, and then I'll bring, actually, you know what, if I can get a list of how many people maybe per store, I'll bring everybody samples in about a week's time, so everybody can sample them. It's probably the best thing to do, actually, for anything you guys do. So, any ones you guys want to see, but the most popular one for us, of course, is the ACDC. So, I'm not sure what everybody else does out there for their capsules and stuff like that. I think one of the things that makes us different than some of the people out there is that ours is all natural. It's all a whole plant infusion, and the only thing we add to it is coconut oil and palm kernel, and that's it. So we don't do anything else. We don't, we don't butane. We don't do anything. So that's one of the reasons why, as you guys know, sometimes we've had problems in the past keeping up the supply. So we just can't grow enough, and I think we're solving those problems. It seems like we've had a good read on it the last couple months. We're getting some more help in production this week, so another capping, manual capping machine, which will make things go twice as fast. So I'm hoping we don't have problems like we did months ago. At one time we did have a break-in, wiped us a whole month's worth of pills, and you guys all know, I think it was 5 weeks before I got to you. So that was pretty crazy, because after we were able to produce again, we ran out within days. So we split our production facilities up a little bit now, so that'll never happen again, hopefully. But yeah, I mean, our biggest pill is the ACDC. Of course, we have that. We have the Harlequin pill with sativa and indica. You guys know the sativas and indicas, they're not a big seller. I really don't know why, because our indica is a really good nighttime pill. So it's just one of those things. But I've really been concentrating anyway on the ACDC. So there's 3 doctors and naturopaths that work with us, and they refer their patients to us directly. So it's been helping us get feedback on what ailments are helping people. That's one of the things I don't do enough, I think, is actually take time with you guys and find out more about your patients and what ailments they have that the ACDC is helping with. But I'm starting to get a better read on it, because I'm actually seeing patients right now. A lot of the patients I deal with are elderly patients, so lots of elderly patients we're dealing with, which is fine, and they all have different ailments. I can tell you right now, we're going to find out at the end of August. ACDC pills in a trial with there's a couple doctors who are trying for prostate cancer right now. They have a prostate cancer patient that they have on a regimen with our ACDC for the last 3 months. And I think at the end of August, we're going to find out what results are. We're trying to help them shrink the tumor. I mean, the stuff you hear about CBDs, right? I mean, they're supposed to shrink them, prolong your life, all that kind of stuff. So we're actually going to find out, sounds like, with our ACDC pill, how that's happening to this prostate cancer patient. Also, we just found out recently that our ACDC pill was in a study at the University of Washington. So we're trying to get some more information on what that, the study's already over too. We just found out because a patient called us and said, hey, I'm in this study at the University of Washington. I'm like, huh? And then we started calling some people like, well, we never knew about it. So it was a study about pain and CBDs, and they used the ACDC as one of their pills that they were testing. So I'm hoping to get some information on that here pretty soon. I don't know if you guys know Dr. Lathrop. He's a naturopath out in Issaquah. He's actually the guy who opened up that dispensary, the one down in Soto, the first recreational dispensary. That's his dispensary. So I got to contact him and find out what he knows about this study they did at the University of Washington. Because apparently he was the one who's referring people to them. So we're going to find out here pretty soon, and I'll relay that to all you guys. And I think that'll help us more. We're trying to get some literature out once we get these studies. We kind of get some more information about it. That'll help us talk to patients. You guys can say, look, here's some studies that they're actually involved in. and hopefully we can give them doctors' names, which I hope is not going to be a problem, or something where they can read about it. I think that's the biggest thing I've had in the beginning with this business was educating everybody. A lot of times the problem I had with the ACDC pill was you don't get high off it, right? So a lot of complaints I was hearing in the beginning was like, I don't feel anything, I don't feel anything. You don't need to feel high. You know, it's not about, that's what the magic about this pill is. It's a daytime pill, anytime pill. We have 6 epileptic kids we're helping right now. Our youngest is 8, our oldest is 13. We have an 18-month-old parents from the East Coast who were trying to decide between coming to Washington to do our pill or go to Colorado. Apparently in Colorado, though, there's like a huge waiting list. So they just talked to us last week about if they come here, what's the availability of the pill. We're like, well, we'll help you directly. We only have 6 kids in our group right now. We're just too small of a company to really have that much more. I know Dama guys, those guys are doing, I think they have 30 families in their group. And they got the ACDC plant from us a little bit over a year ago. So they're really making things happen on a lot larger scale than we are. And they've been around long too. So, but we found with the ACDC pill, it's been doing wonders for these epileptic kids. I know a lot of the kids have been 30 to 40 seizures a day. They're down to a couple a week or none. Our youngest 8-year-old now, it's been 3 months. Parents call us all the time now, which is great. The biggest thing with her, she's 8 years old, never spoke her name, her sister's name, anything. I think about 3 weeks after she started her regimen of the ACDC, she said her name, her sister's name, everything. And where she goes to school, apparently, they're questioning what's happening to her because the parents aren't sure how to handle it yet. And of course, we're all like, just tell them the truth, what's going on with your kid, right? So I think that's another thing that we're overcoming with a lot of people is that people still have that stigma of, hey, I'm giving my kid pot, but we're like, you know what, they're not getting high on it. So it's a huge thing for us right now. I don't know. I mean, I don't know if you guys deal with epileptic people or anything like that, if you guys come across it, but hopefully you guys are turning them on to the ACDC. I mean, so far we haven't had any problems. We talk to Dama guys all the time with Dax and those guys. They haven't had any issues yet either with their kids that they're helping. So, until I hear otherwise, I'm like, it's 100% so far for us. I'll be interested to see if this 18-month-old comes here and starts doing a regimen and stuff like that with us. We'll see what happens. But I mean, we're here to help everybody. I know one of our things, we have a low pricing for our capsules. For us, it's about getting out there to as many people as possible. That was our goal. I met my business partner about 18 months ago. He's been doing this about 20 years. He's been a grower at least. He didn't have the ACDC when I met him. We got it together. But his biggest thing, he had a lot of cancer patients he's been dealing with for a long time. And he really wanted to make sure the pricing was at a sustained level where people can get medication every day. And that's why we've kept our price point pretty low. And we want to continue doing that too. So for me, it's all about volume driven. Get as many people to take it as possible, get the benefits out there, and just kind of, that's how we'll grow. I have before I did this, and I still do, I have a wholesale bakery I've owned for 18 years. So I did bagels. At one time I was like the biggest bagel company in Washington. My whole thing was volume driven. Thousands of bagels every day. So that's what I'm trying to do here too with this business. It's more volume than anything else. We're all going to make our money. So, don't have to be greedy about it. Just get the medicine out there as much as possible. There's a couple things I can tell you about, how, like I said, how we do things differently. It's a whole plant infusion. We triple filter it. There's not really a big science to it, to tell you the truth. It's not a big science. I forget, there's a new company out there that has a pill. I just saw it the other day somewhere. I'm trying to find out who that was. I'd like to see the test results. They're claiming it's the same thing as our ACDC. High CBDs, low THC. The numbers almost match what we're doing. I don't know yet. I gotta find that pill again and get it tested myself.
It's not the Solstice Sounds.
No. It's not the Solstice guy. No, it's some kind I've never even, it's like water something. It's the name of the company. I gotta, it's a dispensary up in Linwood. I gotta go out there and see that.
Well, that's a lot.
But so the other thing we're trying to do too, one of our goals was to have flour, ACDC flour for everybody. It's been a struggle trying to get enough products just to do our capsules, but we're slowly getting there with flour. We actually sold our first ounce last week. So I'm hoping that you guys might be interested in getting flour, ACDC flour from us. Right now it tested at, our first test was like at 17, I think, for CBDs and 0.7 something, 0.55 for THC. I think our last test, I think we're at 14 and about 55 again. So I'm hoping that over the next couple of weeks we have more, because I know you guys have a couple stores. I want to be able to at least provide, at least a pound each, minimum per store per month. What would you do? What was that?
No, it's in 5 stores.
What was that?
There's 5 stores.
Oh, there's 5 stores. Yeah, 5 stores now. Yeah, so there's 5 stores. So, so I'd like to talk to you guys maybe, when I go to your stores and see if there's a need for that. I'm hoping there is. That's our goal. That's our first goal, our nearest goal right now, but we're almost there, finally. The biggest thing though is still more products. We're not sure where to go with what we want to do. We're always going to do the capsules, but we want to do other products. Which is a good thing for me to be here tonight, because I want to hear from you guys what you guys think should be next on our list, really.
Extra strength indica sativa capsules.
Oh, the indica sativas?
Yes. What are
we don't have to make them double strong. We can make them stronger. But the price point's going to go up. So, if you guys want to see it, we can do it. We kept it at a certain price point, just at $1 for you. And they were down in the beginning. Our indicas or our Harlequin, it was a lot stronger. We've lowered it because we've had a lot of people call us about, hey, they're kind of strong. I'm like, all right, well. So we've lowered it a little bit. But the indica sativa, we could make them stronger easily. It's just price point wise.
I think it'd be similar to the double strength ACDC that you have too. They're a little bit more pricey, but people,
right.
It's medicine. They don't care if it's a little bit more pricey. At some points, they want that full effect. And they could take 3 or 4 or 5 pills, but to have just that single pill option that's maybe twice the price, $4 a pill. It's double strength.
Right. So you guys feel as a company, you guys want to see stronger the sativa and indicas for sure?
Yeah.
Like double it?
I would sell them way more. If
Yeah,
they were
if you
much
want us
more
to sell
potent.
more of them.
It's just
Yeah,
hard
that's-
because they're at a really low milligrammage. It's very hard to sell that 5 milligram
Right.
price point.
So you want to see double what we have now?
I still
I'd
like
say
the
Yeah.
30.
I'd say 25 or 30.
Having 25 milligram pills, there's a couple other companies that do
Right.
25s and 50s.
Right.
And those are pretty popular.
Right.
Those are where people, even maybe doing like a 15, 20, maybe
Right.
do off numbers or something like that.
Right.
So you can dose them out.
I like the 15-20. Well, you know what? We'll after this, I've got to call our grower and stuff like that. We'll work on that. After, I know we've got a couple of huge batches right now, but probably after we run through this batch, 3 or 4 weeks, we can start that up. Yeah, within a month. See if you guys want to see that. So that's what I need. I need that kind of feedback. So whatever you guys sell more, we sell more.
And also, do you guys, as far as your test results go, I know we have the pieces, the paper that sticks onto the back of the jars.
Right.
Do you ever plan on making those stickers? Like,
Or
do you have them in sticker form?
I don't have. I
Well,
could get them.
the stickers on the front of your jars?
Oh,
Just get
right,
your
right.
test results printed in label form like that.
Right, but we test all the time, so we
Do
don't have to swap
you
them out.
do batch tests?
Yeah, we do batch touches. Yeah.
or we can use a batch as a baseline even. One of the
Right, because they don't
Right.
fluctuate too much. They won't
Right.
fluctuate that much
Here's
anymore.
the bigger-
You guys get the test result cards, right?
Yeah.
We could just copy those and
Yeah.
just get like maybe a hard copy for ourselves. I don't know if
Right.
we send you an extra copy, but
Right.
having those would be so awesome. Just
Okay.
hand the patient, be like, hey, here's a book of, we could have a little
Right.
display of all 4 of your cards. And instead of bringing each jar and having the jars on the cover,
right.
we could
Yeah,
just bring
yeah.
them the book of cards. And be
Exactly.
like, here's all 4 options, take a look at the milligrammage and save us a lot of time too.
Those
Oh, that'd be
bartenders
good.
too, we
Okay.
could just, it's on analytical, so we could just look it up. Like, every
Yeah,
time
but
we
I
bring
know
it.
sometimes you guys get pretty busy. I'm sure you guys.
Well,
have
every
big
time you
fun.
bring in a new batch, all we have to do is look at it one time.
Yeah.
if somebody's real detailed and like wanted the exact, like you
Yeah.
said, you can find
It's like, because I know how, I know that ACDC is like 14.83,
Right.
0.53. You know what I mean? It's like, so it's easy to remember if you just go on there.
The
Right.
scenario that occurs a lot, and I think it helps to have a visual cue and a viewpoint, is at the very least, like when a patient is asking, well, which capsule should I get for like high CBD or whatever, I can just say, yeah, get the ACDC, but the Harlequin's also high CBD.
It is,
And
yeah.
unless you want the Harlequin to just be dead and not sell any of it, right, you probably don't want to just always jump in that.
Right.
There's got to be a reason the Harlequin exists too.
Right.
Usually the way I explain it's more balanced and has more THC in it too.
Yep.
If they can see the numbers, it helps paint the picture.
Visualize.
Yeah, so
Okay.
they go,
All
okay,
right.
there's sativa, there's an indica, there's a balanced CBD option, and a low THC CBD option. Great, and I get what's this.
Okay.
And the visual helps people because then even when they're browsing, or we didn't think to mention it to them,
Right.
because you don't always remember every one of 150
Almost
products in your
like
store
scale.
to go through.
Right. Yeah. Okay.
Right, it might jump out and somebody might ask about it, and you go, oh yeah, they carry 4 or 5 different types. Here's what they are.
Right. Okay.
I mean,
Yeah. So that's
honestly,
good. Yeah.
like
That's
going
easy.
back to what he was saying, what you were saying, for an indica for nighttime,
Right.
we should have something right there for that herbal pill saying
Right.
something right there. For
Yeah, if you put in
nighttime.
there good for, right? And then when
Right.
you get to the ACDC cap, good for, use when you're not trying to get high, basically. So then somebody knows the cue, like if they're getting it for their kid, this is the pill they want.
Right.
They don't necessarily want the Harlequin, they definitely don't want
Right.
the indica or sativa. You know what I mean? You can basically say non-psychoactive on it.
Right.
Fine.
Well, you know the Dama guys with their new pills and stuff like that, they beat us to the punch. We're actually trying to. I think our next thing right now is packaging our ACDC in jars and stuff like that, like a 20-pack basically.
Yeah.
Saying something like daytime or So yeah, we're actually working on that right now for the ACDC, just that.
I'd love to see
Can you
that.
guys
Yeah.
do blister packs?
Those are awesome, the Doma blister packs.
Dude, they just
Yeah.
look so
They look awesome.
legitimate.
I know.
Like,
I know.
It's good
Yeah.
to hear you guys have good rapport though.
Yeah. No, yeah, those guys, yeah. Well, like I said, yeah, we gave those guys the ACDC plant a while ago, so, but we knew, they gave us a head up like 8 months ago that they're going to get to the pill business, so, but their pill's way different. It's a powder form. I mean, their packaging can't beat it, right? So we've been thinking about it for the last couple of months about doing a 20-pack. The only thing that's kept us from it, honestly, is we're trying to figure out what's going to happen with medical next year before we start dumping a lot of that packaging. At least get that going on a smaller scale. But yeah, I mean, those are the things I need to know because
Just, I guess from my perspective, probably, maybe others like to go this way. I've always felt like the displays sometimes are more important than the packaging. Right, because the packaging, the only real benefit of it is if it adds to the display.
Right.
If it's easier to tell what the product is or what's in it or something along those lines. So the whole thing, because they're in bulk, somebody can order any amount of them. You start putting them in 20 packs. Some people will love that. That's great.
Right.
But more importantly, going back to what Jake was saying, everything is just even just having the numbers or rough numbers,
Right.
ratios, something along those lines, so that people can distinguish
See.
between these 4 different pills within just your brand.
Right. Well, yeah, because the packaging with that 20-pack, we're gonna have a range actually.
Yeah.
Because like I said, every batch is gonna be a little bit different. We only go back and redoing labels all the time for every different batch we're doing. So there'll be a range. It doesn't fluctuate that much though anymore for us. So it's pretty consistent what we do. We're anywhere from 14 to 15 something on the CBD levels, and the THC is about the same too. It doesn't fluctuate much. So yeah, that'll be pretty easy to do. But I'm glad you brought. I'm still glad you brought up getting the indica and sativas though. I've never heard it before, so so that's an easy fix. It really is for us. And maybe for now, until I start talking to other people, I'll make sure we have enough at least for you guys, at least for 5 stores for the next round next month. So that'll be pretty easy. But it's just, it's really simple. It's really basic. I always talk about the ACDC because it's the most popular pill still. But for right now, what we're seeing with ACDC, it's not just epileptic patients we're having. We've got a couple of people who have PTSD, post-traumatic stress syndrome. Yeah. Actually, they're with the military. We got contacted by somebody who deals with military people who have that. And so they contacted us. And we're giving them pills to see how that kind of works. To me, it's a no-brainer because that pill helps with anxiety anyway. So we'll see what happens there. And I know we're with somebody out in Wenatchee who deals with state with kids, and they're taking our pills. They're trying to see if the state was going to actually like pay for it. I'm like, yeah, good luck. You know? But the supervisor buying it on their own and helping some kids out and stuff like that when they actually with those. So a lot of elderly patients I have, they have arthritis. I mean, I met some lady last week. She was about 68 years old. Literally, her hands were all curled up and stuff like that. And she had taken our ACDC pill a couple times, and she was saying how it was just a miracle how her hands came uncurled. She was standing up. When I saw her, she hadn't taken it for about a week, and she was just really bad, you know, just looking pretty bad, sad, and stuff like that. I got her some pills, and a couple days later, she calls me up and starts screaming, "Oh my God, it's the best!" And it's all good. So I'm kind of liking seeing the patients myself now and dealing with them. And we just do that with the doctors that refer everybody to us, those 3 doctors that are helping us. But yeah, I mean, so future-wise, we'd like to kind of know where we should go, maybe with the ACDC. What might be another product that's we don't have, but maybe somebody else has something similar to it, but just not in a high CBD form.
Tincture. There's no,
Yeah.
there's not a single good, there's not a single one that I would take
That was a good
myself,
one.
ever.
I wonder why. I mean, that's
Ever. I mean,
Sativa Valley has one, but they are
They're
too far
lying.
out. You can't get to them, and they can't.
And their test results were like,
Really? Oh, I
so
didn't.
So
checks to
shitty.
nothing as
Like,
far as CBD
yeah.
went, and
Yeah.
because
Did the
those are so,
CDC ever do it?
So wait, what was wrong with
no,
it?
they only did sativa.
It's
Really
Sativa
low,
Valley.
inconsistent test results and difficult to get a hold of.
and the best thing about the tinctures too is I had a patient, I had a mother and father come in one time when I was bed tending and told me they have a 9-year-old daughter who has a feeding tube. She's basically bedridden and a feeding tube.
Right.
She can't eat, she can't drink, everything is done basically medicinally. And they're trying to try like new things. Now basically they're going to be like, we're going to try whatever we can try until, you know, there's nothing else they can
Right.
do. And I was, you know, got them on a regimen of super low THC, CBD. I was giving the Sativa Valley because it was like, well, let's start really, really, really low. She doesn't take any
Right.
medications or anything like that. And even the minuscule amount of CBD in that, he said she was like moving her head around and she was responding to them and talking, like, or not talking, but like communicating with them, which is something she like hadn't ever done. And it was just a story like that, you know, she can't take a pill, she can't eat a food, everything is liquid through a feeding tube diet. So to have something that could cater
Right.
to somebody who had to eat through a feeding tube or liquid diet, I mean, you will kill it. Absolutely. You'll be the only one in the market that has a legitimate CBD
Huh.
tincture.
It's crazy.
For sure.
In the
Shock.
meantime, though, those are coconut oil on the inside.
Yeah.
So you can actually tell them to put them in the freezer and open them up, and you can put them in soup. You can, because it'll melt
Oh,
right
right,
into
right.
it. So they can put it in milkshakes. You can put it in like any of your drinks. Same thing with some of the sodas. So you can use the coconut oil really. You can break it down and use it in a lot of different things as long as you just put it in the freezer.
I've been telling people about the peanut butter thing.
Yeah.
Some of it is that because the capsules are one product, and then maybe you can have something that's similar to olive oil, I guess, and then you can mix
Right.
into your foods necessarily, but it's only CBD.
Yeah.
That would be a very rare product.
Yeah, that's a good point. Nobody's done a CBD
Oil.
Yeah, but I've heard
like a
Actually,
coconut
if
oil
you-
or butter.
Actually, if you did just some cooking oil in general, like we don't really carry anyone who like does a cooking oil and it's consistent.
Right.
In all fairness, I haven't seen anybody just do it. You might just skip the caps.
But she makes it better, but it's
Coconut
actually
oil.
like me and
Right.
Diane made
Save
cookies.
money on the
And we didn't get
caps.
high, like it was any cookie.
I thought it was
It's on different butters, but they'll tend to
Yeah.
forget it. So once you break it down the
Yeah.
ratio, if people are wanting to make a large amount,
Yeah,
the more you break that down, the less potent it becomes.
But she doesn't have it
The
consistent.
CBD,
Right.
you know,
Yeah.
consistent, strong dosage would be really important.
Yeah, that'll be the biggest thing right there.
I do getting into
fully-
it though. People asking about butters now. They like making their stuff at home. So
Really?
yeah, because then they can choose. So.
Right. Well, yeah. I mean, there's so many more people more knowledgeable about CBDs now. That's helping all of us. And I know a lot of that's with you guys and everybody else in the industry, kind of like going that way and pushing it like that. So,
This flour you were talking about, obviously that's a new product. Have you guys already started? You said you started doing that?
yeah. Well, we had 2 ounces that we just recently sold finally. So, got a chance. I think the next 4 to 5 weeks we should have. Well, put it this way: come October, we've got a 10 light system that's going to go just flower, just to sell flower. So come October, we'll have enough for everybody, I think. Until then, we might have a couple pounds here in the next couple weeks again, just extra. The problem we've had was just the production. We just can't produce enough of the pill. We don't have enough flour for the pills, but now we're getting to where we have enough flour for all our pills. Now we have extra flour we could unload. So, yeah, so we're pretty close to that. But I know come October, our first crop out of that 10 light system is going to be coming out. It's going to be rotated, so we'll have enough all the time after that. So, and then also, I'm going to try with you guys. We'll find out. I contract that with a farm out in Eastern Washington to grow some outdoors. So we're going to see how that comes out. That's coming out, I think, around October too. So we'll see. That might be, as long as the CBDs come out really good, it might be a flower that we sell for a little bit cheaper. So we'll have to see how that comes out. It's going to be the first time that anybody has that outdoors, I think, right now. So we'll see how that comes out. But I think at that point is then when we're really going to start looking at other products that we can do, because we should have enough to go around. So, but the tinctures, yeah, if you guys think maybe that should be the next project that we should get on, it's something we'll look at right away. And then 4 weeks from now, we'll double, well, at least we do sativa and indica, probably double those up then. And we'll have some just for you guys, and that's it, until we figure out that, that people want that. But if you guys see it now, why not do it?
You guys can get us tincture by then too. I know
Tinctures might be a little bit harder. That'll probably come more in the October range when the other room's really going full board and we're seeing how what happened to the outdoor grow, see where we're at with outdoor grow. So we'll see how that works out then. But yeah, but that'll be probably our next project would be to do the tinctures then. So especially if you guys see a need out there. It's not consistent, there's nothing out there. So, and price point, we'll try to make it as fair as possible. So we'll see what's out there, kind of go from there.
I noticed that flavored tinctures sell a lot easier than that glycerin, sugary syrup taste too.
What flavoring sells the most?
Blackberry, the one that I've seen
Oh, right.
in Sativa Valley sell really well. That and French vanilla.
Honey,
Ice
Honey
cream.
colada.
Honey, honey, right?
Really?
Yeah.
Really, really
Blackberry and honey. Okay.
I know it smells. You smell a stinky dog. That's what some of our pictures taste like.
Yikes.
It's gross.
Yeah. Those are the ones you don't recommend, I'm sure.
No.
Yeah, so tinctures would be the next thing that we come up with then. Yeah, that's good. We've always had it in our head, but you guys kind of really said it now tonight that we come up with that. So that'll be another one of those easy things for us to do. And I think more in the October range probably than that. So we'll see. Maybe we'll do a couple test runs and give them to you guys and see how they sell first. And we go from there. I can talk to individual managers and stuff like that about that. Actually, you know what? The tinctures, I'll have an answer in like 48 to 72 hours. We'll see if we could make like a trial run of some tinctures and stuff like that for you guys to try. Maybe just you guys to try and stuff like that. Then you guys give us the feedback. And once we kind of have it nailed down, then we'll actually start production for the public. So that sounds good with you guys. That's good with us. We'll try to do a blackberry or a honey one or two. See. So, you guys will be the guinea pigs. All right.
Thank you for coming in, man.
Yeah, of course. But yeah, I want to. But then I'll give you guys an answer here in the next couple days about the tinctures. And I think the easiest thing for us to do is probably do a test run, some small batches of some tinctures. Pass that to you guys. You guys give us feedback. From there, we'll develop it to where it needs to be. So,
Do you guys vend to employees? Some vendors do.
it's up to the managers. We don't have a problem.
It changed my life. The ACDC has completely changed my life. Like it's hard to keep up
Really?
with them. Yeah, or to, it's just hard to. I buy them and then I feel guilty taking them out of the jar
No,
that we only have.
we don't have a
50
problem
or
with it as
100.
long as your managers don't have a problem with it and stuff like that. You guys as a company are cool with that. Yeah, it's easy. And you guys don't have to do the 100 pack. You guys are stuff like that.
Well,
So-
Melissa probably will.
Just make it an even number. Just make it an even number. Yeah. So when you guys see me, just let me know when I'm in the stores, or tell the managers and say, hey, we got employees, and this is how many we need for them, and I'll be back, within that week, and kind of go from there. So yeah, it's not a problem. Easy. Questions? Anybody? More questions? Nothing. Well, thank you guys. I appreciate you guys giving me the time to come here. Finding out a little more information that we need. Really glad about the sativa indica. Now that we know that, we'll have that done. Get that done for the next round. Like I said, I think we have 4-week supply of stuff right now. Once that's out, the next run will be. We'll get those numbers up for you guys. And I think you said 15 or 20 milligrams for those.
Yeah, so
Yeah.
that works out really well. You take 215s,
Yeah.
30, so just easy.
Yeah.
Easy to
We'll
just-
let's say we'll start with 15s at least for now.
Okay.
Right? We'll do that. So, so when our batches run out, the next run we'll do 15 for you guys. And if they sell better, then hey, better for all of us. So, price is gonna be a little bit different, but it won't be that much more probably. So we'll see where we're at stand at pricing. Go from there. And then I'm at Fremont Garden I think on the 7th, 4 to 7. So I know I'm gonna come to some stores and maybe stand around for a couple hours talking to patients and stuff like that. So yeah, you and I should talk maybe after this and let me know. I don't think I have anything signed up with you
I
though.
don't have anything set up yet.
Okay, if you want me to do that, I'm
I would love
available.
to.
So
I need to talk to you about it.
yeah, so so just let me know. I mean that's what I'm here for. If I can educate more patients, it's just more for everybody. So and then individual stores. If you guys want me to come back to individual stores and do stuff, let me know too. Yeah, that's the best way of doing it. You guys got other people coming tonight or what?
If anybody wants any awesome